Boom, boom, bam. Welcome back to another edition of the Great Debate Show. Hey, I'm your host, Uncle JJ. And as always, I got something to say. What do I have to say today? I want to run through all of the shit that has went down in the NBA over the past 24 hours. Now, I know I missed yesterday. I usually do this weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, live on YouTube and TikTok. I'm a little late today because I was just live streaming on X, formerly known as Twitter. And I had about 100 people in there checking me out, so kind of went a little bit over time. I apologize for the 28 minute late start, but it's okay. Hopefully y'all can still come on in and y'all rock with me. Steel DRE is in the building already. Hello to you, man. Grand Rising, kings and queens. I hope all is well with you on a hump day. A lot went on yesterday in the NBA, and I want to talk about it. I'll explain to you why I don't fear the deer in Milwaukee. What the buck is what I have to say to that and what they did. I'll talk about Dame. I'll talk about the subtraction of Dame, the addition of Miles Turner, and what will Giannis do. And we'll talk about the rest of the things that are going on around the NBA. The Lakers saying that they're saving money for 2027. Basically saying, LeBron, just get this 2026 year over with and get the hell out of here so we can manage this team the way a team's supposed to be managed. And you can stop holding this roster for hostage, or the cap space that is. I'll explain. Also, my Grizzlies, Triple J got an extension, Aldama got extended. Everything is all good, right? And then the day after he signs the extension, he has a turf toe injury that is going to keep him out for about 4 to 5 months. Ouch. Now we won't see Jaren Jackson Jr. probably until Thanksgiving or maybe Christmas. What are the Grizzlies going to do with their front court? And what are they going to do without Triple J, their best scorer, their best player all around in Memphis? I'm going to talk about it. A lot to talk about, as a matter of fact. But first, let's start with the biggest cup of tea from yesterday real quick. Let's talk about the Bucks and the Pacers. Now, on Twitter, I started the episode with the intro from back in the day, 1998. Jay-Z, Too Short. It was all good just a week ago. I can't play it now because I've only got a few devices. Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna do better. But I wanted y'all to hear that for a reason, and I know y'all can't hear it, but Twitter did, and they kind of thought it was funny. Why would I play Jay-Z, Too Short from '98? It was all good just a week ago. Because that's what the Indiana Pacers have to be saying to themselves right now. In this case, 2 weeks ago, they were in the NBA Finals playing in a Game 7 where they were just a Halliburton injury away from being the NBA champions, possibly. Now, with that injury, Holly won't be playing next season. For the most part, he's missing all of next season. And if he could come back, it would be, I don't know when it would be, May before he could probably come back. It would be June before he's a year removed from the injury. So I think he's done for the year. But he still would have came back to a good roster had they kept their big Miles Turner. We went from a team that was almost winning the NBA championship, they were this close, to now looking at them next season saying, there won't be Halliburton out there. Miles Turner's going to Milwaukee. What the buck are we doing here? And that's why I say the Bucks should feel like Jay-Z and Too Short right now from 1998. Because it literally was all good just a week ago. Now, the Pacers, do you take them serious in the Eastern Conference? I know it's not going to be that good and it's not deep at all. Due to Tatum's injury, Dame's injury, Halliburton's injury, all Achilles. I get it. But damn, the Pacers were almost NBA champions. They were this close. And you don't want to keep that team, that core together? Miles Turner was a Pacer for the past decade, a 10-year franchise guy, and now he goes to the enemy. And I'm told that the Pacers lowball Miles Turner. That's insane. That's insane. I know he didn't have the best postseason. He didn't have a good NBA Finals. But he's still that big 3-and-D, that stretch, center, and can play at the rim, outside the arc. Rim protector a little bit, rebounder. You needed to keep that intact. When Halliburton came back, He needed to come back to the same team. All right, y'all, we missed the season. Let's run it back. That's how I thought that should have been. So, I don't know. I think that the Golden State Warriors, who re-signed Gary Trent Jr. I just wanted to say a bit about the Pacers, though, because we all fell in love with the Pacers and the Cinderella season, because that's what it was. And if Halliburton didn't get hurt, we probably would be saying the Pacers are the defending champions right now. And I don't know what they would have did if they were champions. That probably would have gave them more reason to let go of Turner. But to let him go, it just pretty much tarnishes their 2025-2026 season, in my opinion. No matter how bad the East looks right now. They didn't do themselves much of a favor by letting him go to the enemy in Milwaukee. And you don't have your point guard now or your big for next year. So, yeah, it was all good just a week ago. That's what I say to that. The Bucks did. Let's talk about what the Bucks did, because I want to ask you all a question. Do you think Milwaukee has done enough to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo's services? Or do you think he should still say, I want a trade? Let's talk about it. They re-signed Gary Trent Jr. He agreed to a 2-year, $7.5 million deal, according to Shams. They also got, what's that other guy? I can't say it, man. They traded away Pat Connaughton and 2 second-rounders. They gave that to Charlotte for Vasil Micic. Hope I said that right. According to Shams yesterday, they traded for another big. I think he's a big. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But Micic is there, and Pat Connaughton and whatever is gone. They brought in Miles Turner. They acquired him, and they've got Micic, and they re-signed Gary Trent Jr. And I think over the weekend, Bobby Portis also, extended his contract or re-signed. Is that enough? For me, I'm saying, what the book are y'all doing, Milwaukee? I want to take this time to speak to everybody. I got a lot to talk about, y'all. I'm going to speak to y'all for a second, but I got a lot to cover. It doesn't do me much justice to miss a day, and I had a terrible Tuesday, so I apologize for not being here at my regular scheduled timing and programming. I do this noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific weekdays. And look at how much stuff happened while I couldn't, come in and give y'all the information. Dame got waived. Miles Turner got acquired. Dame Lillard is still due $113 million from the Bucks. They're stretching that out for the next 5 seasons, which will come to about $22.5 per that he'll get paid to not be there. They waived him to get that cap space to give to Miles Turner right now, and they'll break that, like I said, stretch Dame's payment out for the next 5 years, even though he's only got 2 years remaining on his deal. So financially, Dame is good, but it still was fucked up for him to get fired on his day off. He's in Portland rehabbing from an Achilles injury, an injury that he shouldn't even had he just stayed put and didn't come back to try to make a postseason run for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was trying to do them a solid, and this is the thanks he gets in return? Getting waived while his damn foot is in a sling, a cast or whatever right now. That's effed up. And even though this is going to work out for him financially because he gets to be a free agent, he can sign wherever the hell he wants to, and he can definitely help a championship contending team when he chooses to sign, now or later. If I'm him, I'll wait till April. That'll be a year removed from the injury. I'll wait till February, March, April before I sign. Who needs me? Who can go to a championship? Who can I win a ring with real quick? And just come in and just give them 2 months. That's a good situation. The Lakers and the Celtics have reached out to Dame. So have the Dubs, the Golden State Warriors. Let me take this time to speak to Bruno, Red Wolf, Paul. It was mutual between the Bucks and Dame. Okay. But still, I'm about to go over some things that they gave up for Dame, why I think Buck fans should be saying, what the Buck are you doing? I'm about to explain in a minute why it still doesn't make sense. I'm okay with them letting go of Dame, but what I would be more happy with is if they didn't acquire Miles Turner. Just blow this thing up to the studs and rebuild it. Giannis, where do you want to go? We'll make the trade happen. Thank you for your services. We wish you the best on your future endeavors. That's what the Bucks should be doing. The same thing the Phoenix Suns should be doing. The same thing the Pittsburgh Steelers should be doing. All of this stubbornness and all this reaching is the reason why these teams won't be successful. Now, knowing Giannis, his loyal ass, and we gotta love that about him, his loyalty will probably keep him in Milwaukee. But I don't think they did enough for him to stay. And I thought that he knew they couldn't possibly do enough. But as soon as I said there was nothing they could do, this is what they did yesterday. What's up, Paul? What's up, Brandon? What's up to Mr. H, Red Wolf, Bubba, John Cena? I just want to speak to everybody. Suge White. I like that. Andre Overton, Quack, James, Tiffany, everybody. Thank y'all for joining me. Steel DRE, Levon, Riley, how y'all doing? I think the Bucks are poverty. I agree. And I'm about to explain why. Texans 94. Shout out to all of y'all. Okay. I'm going to try to read some of y'all comments, but right now I got a lot to talk about, so y'all bear with me. The main thing, even though I know y'all like that I read y'all comments and everything, I just got to say, I'm not here just to do that, though. It's so much to cover today. I want to hurry up and run through it as quick as I can, and then we can chime in and we can dive in and talk about it. And I would love to hear y'all opinions and what you think. Over here to YouTube, I want to speak to Big Jizz. What's up, man? Niner Gang, bang, bang. What's up to you? CJ in the building. What's your Dame going, your opinion? I'm about to speak on it. Minnesota Dad, there's my guy. How you doing, man? Grand Rising Kings and Queens. I hope all is well. Silly Z in the building, sign hi to you. Does Dame still get paid his contract minus whatever teams pay him like the NFL, whereas a team could give him an extension, mid-exemption, and he is still get his bag? No, this is how it works, Minnesota Dad. Okay, so it was $113 million left on his contract, and he was gonna get that with 2 years remaining. Woo, that's some good money. But what they're doing is they're stretching it out for the next 5 years, and that's gonna come to 22.5 per for the next 5 years. He'll go somewhere else and probably sign a minimum veteran deal for a team that needs him, that's trying to contend for a championship. And if he can get them over that hump, he's gonna do it, because the money ain't a big factor, because the Bucks are still paying him, just like the NFL. There's no exemption or anything like that, I don't believe, but he's gonna get paid in 2 places, basically. You know, like Russell Wilson did when he left Denver, and he was getting paid a lot of money still from Denver playing with the Steelers for the minimum. That's what this is going to be for Dame. So financially, it works out for him. He's a free agent, and he's going to get to go wherever he chooses. And to answer your question, CJ, I don't know, man. It's a lot of places he could go. A lot of places. And he's got options. He's got options. The Lakers have reached out. The Celtics have reached out. But the first team we heard was the Dubs. Golden State Warriors. Can y'all imagine Dame and Steph in the same backcourt? And Jimmy Buckets is still there, and Draymond is still there. He could come back and sign with them now, or he could wait till April and sign and give them a playoff push. Who knows? I think he's going to pick a team that's more championship contention, though. That's what I think. But we'll see. Let's see here. So, again, the Bucks waive Dame. Milwaukee is stretching that remaining $113 million on Lillard's deal to sign Miles Turner. What do y'all think of Miles Turner going to Milwaukee? I'm okay with it. It's just the Bucks are reaching. They should have blew this thing up. Minnesota Dad said, I love him in Minnesota. Of course you would. Of course you would. It wouldn't be bad either. It would help your backcourt out. You could definitely use them, but you couldn't get him until at least April, more than likely. Could he try to come back before then? Maybe, but that's what got him in this situation in the first place. He had a blood clot, just like Victor Wembanyama. He should have hung it up for the season, and he tried to come back for the team, for the Bucks. And look what the Bucks did to him. It's a cold game, and it is a business. It's cutthroat. Now, they say that it was mutual. That's what somebody said on TikTok in the comments. I haven't heard that, but even if so, cool. Maybe it would explain why he's elated, why he feels elated right now. He's pretty happy. And I see why. He probably didn't want to be in Milwaukee anyway. He just thought that It's the best place I can get traded to. Let's see what me and Giannis can do. That ship has sailed. Giannis was not pleased with it, but do y'all think he stays? That's the biggest question here. Do you think he's going to stay? Okay, let's see here. If anybody cares, Jake Paul is eligible for a title shot. He's ranked number 14 now by the WBA, following his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And he can fight for the WBA cruiserweight title. In other news, the Dolphins yesterday traded for Darren Waller. Remember him? He unretired yesterday and got traded to the Dolphins. He was a Giant when he retired. The Giants traded Waller to the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were just trying to replace the tight end Jonnu Smith that they traded to Pittsburgh on Monday. The Knicks signed Yabusele, the former Sixers big, agrees to a 2-year, $12 million deal, according to Shams, with the Knicks. Dennis Schroeder, his contract details. He signed with the Kings, a 3-year, $45 million deal, according to Shams. Bad look for the Pistons. They lost a few guards here. The Milwaukee Bucks also made a trade with the Hornets yesterday. They traded Pat Connaughton and 2 second-rounders to Charlotte for Vasil Micic. I don't know if he's a big or not, but that's another player that they got. Micic, along with Miles Turner. And they re-signed Gary Trent Jr. For me, if I'm Giannis, that's not enough for me to stay in Milwaukee. That's just my 2 cents. But as loyal as Giannis is, he probably does still stay. He said, I'm going to observe what they do. I'm monitoring the situation. Do something to make me feel good. Remember what dude, St. Louis from Players Club? When he was trying to get Dollar Bill to pay his ass? And he told Charlie Murphy, man, get out the car and do something to make me feel good. Because he was tired of waiting on his money from Dollar Bill. Well, that's what Giannis told the Bucks front office. Do something to make me feel good so I can stay. If I'm Giannis, I still say, nah, I'm straight. They did all of this, and Giannis could still tell them tomorrow, I want to trade. Send me to Golden State. He still could say that just like that, because that's why I don't like jumping through hoops for players. That's why players shouldn't be trying to run the front office and play general manager. They just shouldn't. Yes, I'm a Grizzlies fan. What's up to you, Vols? Vols Nation. Tennessee Vols in the building. Okay, so that's that for the Bucks. I think the Bucks are reaching. I think they're doing too much, and I think they're the NBA Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to just be mid until they blow that thing up. That's just my opinion. Let's talk about a team that did do something good. Oh, and as far as Dame, man, look, the sky's the limit on where he could go. I wouldn't mind seeing him. I wouldn't mind seeing him in Golden State. I wouldn't mind seeing him in Boston, who's looking for him right now. And the Lakers are also looking at him. I don't know if he's ready to sign now or later. I think he's got plenty of time to wait while he's rehabbing. But just it's gonna be a team that can contend for the championship when we get to the playoffs. That's gonna be huge as we get to the playoffs. Who could he go to? He can just pick. So he's in a good situation, and he's still getting paid by the Bucks. Let's see here. The Nuggets. That's who did good. The Denver Nuggets. They traded away Dario Saric, however you say it. He didn't play a lot, and he didn't play good. He got traded to the Kings for Jonas Valanciunas. Now, that's not bad for a backup. He's going to be a good backup big to Jokic, the best player in the NBA, even though SGA was the MVP, and he would have got my vote. But I still would have been like, damn, I hated to not vote for you, Jokic, because I think he is the best player in the world when it comes to the hardwood floor, and he just doesn't get enough help. He just doesn't have any depth, and that's what the Nuggets needed to do this offseason. And I got to tell you, I'm not easily impressed. I tell y'all that all the time. But what the Nuggets have did this week, so far, I'm impressed. Why? Well, they traded for Jonas Valanciunas. They brought back Bruce Brown on a 1-year deal. He was on that 2023 championship Nugget team. And they were also able to trade for, who is that? They acquired Cameron Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets. a better three-point shooter consistently than Michael Porter Jr., defends better on the wing than Michael Porter Jr. had been doing lately. So that was a good trade. Cameron Johnson, Bruce Brown, and the addition of Jonas Valanciunas, they're getting a little bit deeper. Finally, now Jokic can go to the bench and get some much-needed rest. So I'll say this, even though the Thunder are the champions and they very well could repeat, we know the West is deep, and we know the Rockets are probably on their ass at number 2. They were number 2 before KD. They'll probably be number 1 with KD. I think they'll be a great regular season team, but I'm not ready to predict what they're going to do in the playoffs yet. Y'all know I'm crazy about the Dallas Mavericks and their roster now. And I was the one who wasn't so hard on Nico Harrison. I understand it was a bad move to trade Luka, but I think that they are good, even without him. I think that they're going to get off to a slow start, but when Kyrie comes back, gets his legs back under him, they're going to go on a good stretch. They'll be good just in time for the playoffs. They may not be what we want them to be in November, December, but by the time we get to April, watch out. And as long as they're a top 6 seed team, even if they are 8, they just need to get in and watch out. But the Nuggets, trading for Jonas Valanciunas, Bruce Brown, Cameron Johnson, this is good. I would probably put them right behind the Rockets as far as the best offseason so far. So far. That's what I would say. Let's see here. And Giannis was upset about what happened with Dame. He was. He said he wasn't. They said he wasn't pleased with the decision to waive Lillard. That was according to Chris Hayes. But we will see. You can say that as many times as you want to, Bob, but I'm doing something right now. Let me finish what I'm doing, and I'm gonna read y'all comments. Okay, brother? Let's see here. I talked about Darren Waller being traded now from the Giants to the Dolphins. Now he's unretired. They were just replacing John O. Smith. One more thing before I stop talking about the Nuggets, though. I want to give you the net sum of the trades that the Nuggets have turned into. They turned Michael Porter Jr. and Dario Saric into Cam Johnson and Jonas Valanciunas, while saving $12.3 million against the 25-26 salary cap. Man, that's good. They got a little bit better, a little bit deeper, and saved money while doing it. That's better than the Houston Rockets if you want to be real. And I'm about to get to y'all comments. Bear with me. But the Nuggets did a lot more than I expected. They needed to do it. This is why the general manager got fired. But some of the moves they made this week, in my opinion, y'all, that's not bad for a team that doesn't have a general manager. Not bad at all. I mean, that total doesn't include the one-year deal that Bruce Brown received to return to Denver. 2 years after helping the franchise win an NBA title. Yeah, I thought they did good. And Valanciunas, again, he gives them a capable backup big who can, help take some of the pressure off of the 3-time MVP, Nikola Jokic. He averaged 10.5 points, 7.5 rebounds per game in 81 games last season that he split with the Wizards and the Kings. That's Valanciunas I'm talking about. So that's a big move for the Nuggets. I'm impressed at what they did. Y'all heard TJ Watt is eyeing $40 million per at 30 years old. Watt wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Do you think the Steelers are going to give it to him? I don't think they should. And I only say that because I don't think that they're really a championship contender. And I don't think they should have signed Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they should have traded for DK Metcalf. I think they should have just let everything stay the way it is, let it blow up, be bad enough to be good. So I don't think they should have done it. But that's my opinion. The rumors are teams have called. Teams like the Washington Commanders, the Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, and it's one more I'm missing. But there's like 4 teams that have reached out, and the Steelers have not made a move yet. But we don't know. 40 per at 30 years old, I don't know. Could we see Trey Hendrickson and TJ Watt get traded by training camp? I don't think so, but man, you can't rule out anything now. And if y'all follow the Great Debate Show on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you will go up and see a poll right now that's up on X. Right now, I'm asking you who you got, Ohtani or Judge. Shout out to Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani, for reaching 30 home runs again for the 5th straight season in last night's 6-1 win over the White Sox. Once again, Ohtani, the 30 homer, he hit the 30 homer mark. Who do y'all think's better? Ohtani is like a double player. He's like a, what's the word I'm looking for? He's a two-way guy. Like Travis Hunter is about to be in the NFL. I don't know how you don't pick Ohtani. He can knock it out of the park, and he can strike your ass out. Maybe that's a great debate, though, that we will save for another day. Maybe tomorrow when I talk more NFL, NFC North, AFC North. I'll continue those talks as we get closer to training camp. But again, I talked about Dane, and I talked about his contract. What do you think the Lakers should be doing right now in the offseason? What's their biggest offseason priority? The notable centers that they should be looking at right now is DeAndre Ayton, Al Horford, Jackson Hayes, Thomas Bryant. That's all that's left. They let Clint Capella go back to the Rockets, who have had the best offseason so far. But Denver is right on their ass. They should bring back Jackson Hayes as a backup, and they should probably go ahead and sign DeAndre Ayton. Because they don't just need one big, they need a starter and a backup big. Did you also hear that the Lakers and LeBron James did not even talk extensions before he decided to opt in to his final year, $52.6 million for next season? They didn't even discuss an extension. They're ready to get LeBron out of the building. And I think that they had their fingers crossed hoping he would opt out. They were not going to give him an extension or another deal. And while he's trying to play, all right, let me just put this out there to see if they're going to hurry up and make some moves real quick so I can try to win a chip before I leave. And they're saying, nah, we can't win nothing until we remove you off the books. That's what I think new ownership is saying in LA. And until he leaves, they're not really trying to do much of anything. Can't you tell? While there's no urgency, DeAndre Ayton should have been signed 48 hours ago. He's still a free agent after the Portland buyout. And they came out and said yesterday, 2 days ago, after I left the live stream, they said, we're saving our money for 2027 because we're trying to sign another max superstar. Okay. Another max superstar. You mean not named LeBron James? They're ready for him to get the hell out of there. And whoever that max superstar is going to be, they're going to pair him with Luka, and they'll have more cap space and assets to build around it. So y'all going to have to be patient and wait another year or so. But the Lakers are kind of telling you what their plans are, and I don't blame them. But if LeBron would just remove that trade clause and say, hey, man, send me back to Cleveland or send me somewhere, send me to Dallas too, like you did AD, everything will be everything. But the Lakers are kind of held hostage right now because of that $53 million. Who's going to trade for LeBron, give up $53 million, and knowing that it's probably just a one-year rental? Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. I'm almost done. According to ESPN Bet Sportsbook, the odds to win the Eastern Conference Finals in 2025-2026 is Cleveland at number 1, plus 290 are the odds. Tied with them is the Knicks, plus 290 are the odds. Coming in at 3 is Orlando at plus 425, Atlanta at plus 900, Philadelphia at plus 1,000, and Boston at plus 1,100. Cleveland and New York should probably be the favorites in this weak Eastern Conference due to all of the Achilles injuries that these superstars sustain in the postseason. But don't sleep on Orlando and Atlanta. Okay? Atlanta adding Porzingis, if he can get back healthy and get past whatever that was he was dealing with this postseason. And you got Trae Young, and they made a few more moves that I can't think of right now, but Atlanta has done a few things. So I've been kind of impressed with their offseason, and I know the Orlando Magic gave up a lot for Desmond Bane, but they got Desmond Bane now. That is a better backcourt. That's a better scoring team now. That's what they were kind of missing. And then switching over to the Western Conference, the Western Conference favorites for next year, it's the OKC Thunder at number 1. The defending champs are at plus 155. The Nuggets come in at number 2 at plus 500. The Rockets come in at number 3 at plus 500 also. So they're really tied for second place. You see how the Nuggets are right behind the Thunder? I just told you who I thought are having the best offseason right now, the Rockets and now the Nuggets. Because they quietly did some good things in my opinion. They just need depth. They took the champions to game 7 without the depth and Aaron Gordon being hurt. Imagine what they do now that Bruce Brown is back. They acquire Cameron Johnson and Jonas Valanciunas. So the Thunder is 1, Nuggets 2, Rockets 3, Timberwolves 4, Clippers 5, Lakers 6, Warriors 7, Mavericks 8, Spurs 9, Grizzlies 10. That's the Western Conference according to ESPN Bet for now. So who gonna win the West? The Grizzlies got some bad news after they extended Aldama and Triple J and a few other things. A day after he signed that contract extension, Jaren Jackson Jr. Suffered a turf toe injury that's going to keep him out for about 4 or 5 months before he's fully recovered. Meaning that the Grizzlies are going to start October and November, probably December, without their, in my opinion, best player on the team overall, scoring and defense. So it's going to be a shitty start for the Grizzlies. It was turning out to be good, but this is not a good look. Now, how can Ja hold it together while he's out? He'll need to stay healthy for one, but I don't know. We're probably going to be at the bottom looking at a play-in because we're going to be behind the 8 ball by the time he's healthy 100% to come back. So that's not a good look. Do you think the move from yesterday impacted the Bucks or the Pacers more? What's your thoughts? I'm about to read these comments right now. But Miles Turner, who agreed to that 4-year, $107 million deal with the Bucks, and Dame getting waived, do you think that impacted the Bucks more or the Pacers? I think it impacted the Pacers more because they just went from sugar to shit. They were just in the NBA Finals, and now they don't have their big, and they won't have their superstar Tyrese Halliburton for the year. It's not gonna be that good of a year for the Pacers. And that's why I opened up on Twitter with the intro music playing, Jay-Z, Too Short. It was all good just a week ago. How much interest should there be for Dame right now? What's your thoughts? We know he can't play until at least April probably, but he still could help somebody win a championship. So how much interest do you think it should be? He's got several teams calling him though. And we talked about LeBron, who wants to compete for a championship. Rich Paul said that LeBron was exercising his $52.6 million player option, and he knows that the Lakers are building for the future. We don't want to evaluate. We do LeBron at this stage in his life and career. That's what Rich Paul said according to ESPN Shams, and we're still kind of waiting to see what's going to happen there. Would LeBron still say, hey, man, you know what? Y'all ain't doing shit. Trade me. It's almost like that's what the Lakers are baiting him into doing. If not, they're going to come back. That's why they're putting it out there. We saving money for 2027. They're telling them right now, you can come back all you want to. We ain't doing nothing. We can't do anything until you get the hell out of here. And I actually agree with the new ownership. I'm not going against nothing Mark Walters says or does. That's a billionaire, trillionaire, or whatever, or close to it. Owns the Dodgers and a whole lot of other shit, and he's successful with everything he does. So I think that this will be good as soon as they can get LeBron out of the building. Okay, I think that's all I got. I said LeBron didn't talk an extension deal with the Lakers at all. The two sides did not have substantive discussions about an extension according to Brian Windhorst. That says everything. Tells me. All right, so I think I pretty much caught up with everything and everybody. Schrader, I told you, signed with the Kings. I told you about the Bucks and the people that they tried to keep. Everybody pretty much kept their own core players intact. But there was a few other things that got a little litty, and that was the Miles Turner thing. The Pacers, they haven't paid a luxury tax in 20 years. They could have afforded to do that. I wonder how Halliburton feels about it. All right, let me get to some comments here. Let's see here. Bob Johnson, if you're still here, he said Dame Lillard to the Warriors probably. He said that about 15, 20 million times. need to repeat that? Because I saw it. And I had already said before you even jumped in that the Warriors are the first team to start looking at them. Then we heard the Lakers and the Celtics are doing the same. I don't know where he would like to go, but he's gonna have some options. And every team that is this close to winning a championship, they can call on him when we get around March, April. I think it'll be huge for him. What's up to Dixon in the building? Says hi. Hello to you. IMK says hello. Hello. Okay. Back to TikTok. Cooper is in the building. Volunteer. Red Wolf says Los Angeles Lakers. Even a team like Orlando can make it to the final, says Paul. That's my point. I don't think the Bucks are not going to trade Giannis. The East is wide open right now. That's why he'll probably stay, but I still think the Bucks are reaching. They're damaging their future. They should just blow it up now and try to make it right in a couple years. Charlotte is building the first all-white basketball team. LMAO, says Paul. Damn. What's Charlotte roster look like right now? LaMelo's not there anymore? They still got LaMelo, right? What does the Charlotte Hornets roster look like now? Brandon in the building. He said nope. What did he say nope to? Mr. H said go Falcons. Brandon said hell, look what the Grizzlies did. What did we do? We extended everybody that we needed to, but Triple J's hurt right now, and that's not a good look. Steph Curry is the best player in the NBA, said Red Wolf 15. You ain't gonna get a lot of debates with that, about that. He's a Warrior fan, y'all. I think Dame would look really good in a Warriors jersey too, Red Wolf. Bubba, John Cena, Dom said they might not make the playoffs. Who are you talking about, Dom, if you're still with me? Who might not make the playoffs? The Bucks or the Grizzlies? The Bucks will probably still make the playoffs now, but I mean, they ain't got no scores, man. Who can score for the Bucks in the backcourt? That's where I'm confused at. Gary Trent Jr.? That ain't enough. Okay, I think I did read pretty much everything. Well, I thank y'all for letting me say what I had to say. Okay, here we go. Steelers got a new quarterback. Yeah. I thought Aaron Rodgers would stay on the Jets. Oh no, JD. They didn't want him, JD. How many centers do the Lakers have a chance of signing in reality? Well, as I said earlier, they can get DeAndre Ayton right now, and I'd be trying to get Jackson Hayes back. That's what I would be trying to do. They need a starting big and a backup big. But why haven't they done anything? I'm telling you, man, it's a chess match they're having right now with LeBron. Probably somewhat of a power struggle, but LeBron has to know this is new ownership, bro, and you ain't a part of it. They see you as nothing but an expiring contract. And they're moving like molasses to sign the right players that they need because they're trying to give LeBron the message to go ahead and, ask for that trade now. Go ahead and remove that trade clause. Just let me have say-so where I go. And I bet you they'd be ready to play ball. I bet you they would. Iceman Slim, welcome back. He said the Dolphins are still gonna be garbage. Yeah, you're about right. Steelers make a trade for 2 cornerbacks. Oh yeah, who? Oh, I know about Ramsey. Who was the other one? Thank you for that comment too, Steel DRE. Florida sliding through. I like the palm trees. What's up with you? I don't even know what that name is. Steel Dre says, what do you think of Doc Rivers as a coach? I think he has choked in a lot of big games. I don't even really think Doc Rivers is a coach, Dre. I've always said for years that I could have won championship in 2008 with the Boston Celtics if I was their head coach. I've always said that. And I know my co-host Terrence thinks that I'm a little too hard on him, but I don't give a fuck. I don't think he's been a good coach ever. He's been a choke artist for the longest. He's the reason why my boy Tracy McGrady got shitted on for so many years for never getting past the first round like he wasn't that dude. It's just he didn't have that team at all. And the one time he had a chance to get out of the first round, they had the new bad boy Pistons 2.0 in the early 2000s. They had them up 3-1. Now, at one point, if you went up 3-1 in the first round, you've advanced to the semifinal round. But that was the first year they changed it from the best of 5 to the best of 7 series in the first round. So then that made all the rounds the best of 7. It used to be the best of 5 in that first round back in the day, for all of you YNs out there that don't know. Well, that year that they were up 3-1, would you know the Pistons came back and forced a game 7 and won that motherfucker too. And the Magic still didn't get out of the first round, and McGrady never done that until that chip that he got for being with the Spurs riding their bench. And I hate that for him. But I blame Doc Rivers for it. So to answer your question, Dre, hell no. I don't think much of Doc Rivers as a coach. And yes, he has choked in a lot of games. The Nuggets are back, says user 255. Oh, that's what I said. That's what I said. I told y'all. It was a great move. Bruce Brown acquiring Jonas Valanciunas and Cameron Johnson from Brooklyn. They're getting a little bit deeper. And Jokic can get some much needed rest. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Iceman Slim said Giannis to Golden State soon. I hope you're right. I just want Giannis to get the hell out of there now. After what they did to Dame, man, screw the Bucks. Screw the Bucks. Get them out of here. And I bought a Dame Lillard jersey. That's why I don't buy jerseys anymore. I don't know why I did it. But I love Dame time. I do. And when he went to the Bucks, my co-host kept saying, this is going to be it right here. And I said, nah, he should have went to Miami. Been over there with Jimmy Buckets and Tyler Hero and all of them, but that didn't work out. And now they're kind of looking like they're rebuilding. But you get what I'm saying. All of that the Bucks did yesterday, Giannis can still walk in the front office and say, hey, man, send me to Golden State. ASAP. He could do that. And I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't blame him one bit if he did. I sure wouldn't. Let's see here. Does Jokic pass Olajuwon if he wins another championship? No. I'm not putting anybody above Olajuwon. Look, I know I said he's the best basketball player in the world right now, Jokic, even though SGA is the MVP. Olajuwon did play defense. He protected the rim a lot better than Jokic. And I'm not going to say he rebounded a lot better. No, Olajuwon wasn't a walking triple-double. But defensively, nobody fears Jokic. That's the difference between those two. So if he won another one, he would need to win 3 to top Olajuwon. Because Olajuwon got 2 as well. Olajuwon was goated if it wasn't for a brother named Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But yeah, good question though. Good question. Good question, Dre. A lot of people probably will do that, but I think we suffer from what's it called, recency bias these days. So we just like to just talk about what's happening right now. But I will never forget Hakeem Olajuwon, the best big that I've ever seen in my life, in my lifetime. But good question. Iceman Slim says Denver's still gonna be garbage and second round exit. I disagree. Lucas, what up? What's up with you? Christian Penny, thoughts on Ja Morant? He gonna have to come on with it, stay healthy, get better with his jump shot, and ball the fuck out. Because Triple J is gonna be out for the first couple of months of the season due to this turf toe injury. A day after he signed a big ass extension. Thank you for the question, Christian. Damn, that's kind of hard to say. Thank you for the question, Christian. Allen, Bills be a good fit for who? TJ Watt? That was it. Thank you. That was the 14. If I didn't mention them, the Bills, the Commanders, the Lions, and shit, I don't know. It was 14. The Commanders. Bills, Commanders, Lions. I'm still not saying 4 teams, am I? I don't know who the 14 was, but the Bills was one of them. And yeah, that would be a nightmare. That would be a nightmare for the AFC if TJ Watt went to Buffalo. If I'm the Steelers, trade him. Why not? Okay, I asked about Ohtani and Judge. Iceman Slim said Ohtani, and I agree. That is up on Twitter right now if anybody wants to go check the Watch This Entertainment on X, formerly known as Twitter, and go ahead and vote on that poll and let me know who y'all got, Ohtani or Judge. Allen in the building says, I'd like to see Trout go to the St. Louis Cardinals. Damn, Trout still around, man? I know that name. Where's Bryce Harper at? How's he doing these days? I remember at one point he was Aaron Judge, wasn't he? I know a little something about baseball, but Not enough for me to just stay on the topic. Not right now, anyway. What's up, the Raiders for life? Allen said the Lakers need to get Bobby Portis Jr. Oh no, Bobby Portis Jr. re-signed with Milwaukee. Didn't he? Yeah. Bobby Portis Jr. is a buck. He's not going anywhere. The Lakers are stalling y'all on purpose. They're not doing anything on purpose. They're trying to bait LeBron into saying, I want out now. Iceman Slim said LeBron ruined the Lakers franchise for the last 6 years. I agree. But he's y'all GOAT though, right? Allen, James to Spurs. Now, I would not mind that shit. I wouldn't mind that at all. Woo, LeBron, Wemby, De'Aaron Fox. Woo. What's the other guy with the gold hair? Yeah, that could be all right. That could be all right. James to Boston. You think would work? Yeah. While Tatum is out? Hell yeah. I think the Celtics are going to be bad next season. I kind of do too, Savage Life. I kind of do, though. And they're probably reaching with this Dame talk, or if they did try to trade for LeBron, I just wish some teams would call and just ask the Lakers, what are y'all going to do? I'm about to get back to Jake and Goated in a minute right now on YouTube. They got some things to say. Polo's Arena back in the building. Welcome back, brother. He says he's not going... these things be skipping, man. He's not going anywhere. He is just done after this year. Well, we'll be glad when it's over with, Polo. And we do believe that. I've said he's not going anywhere. But I'm telling you what the Lakers are doing by coming out saying things like, we ain't doing nothing until 2027. We're saving for a super max star. You got a max star right now, don't you? But see, they can't do anything because of all that money LeBron's getting. If LeBron cares about a 5th ring so damn bad, why won't he just take a pay cut? Opt out, do another deal. He didn't do it. Polos, now Dame ends up in Boston or Miami. I wanted him in Miami a few years ago, but now he ain't got time for them to rebuild. Dame to Orlando, maybe. Woo! I don't know if they got the assets to pull that up. No, they don't need assets. They can just sign them. Who's Orlando's point guard? That wouldn't be a bad move either, man. That wouldn't be bad at all, Polos. Y'all coming up with some good shit right now. Melo, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and white guys. That's who. That's the Hornets roster now, huh? Scripps says favorite Grizzly. No Karen. Got a feeling it's Tony Allen. Damn. No, he's not my favorite Grizzly. Favorite defender for the Grizzlies, but no. It's got to be Zebo or Gasol, man. Those are probably my favorite Grizzlies of all time. Rockets are winning it all, says RJ3. Hey, man, that's a great debate for another day. They very well could. Got some Eagle fans in here. Space Walker OG said, go Birds. Steel Dre says, Ayton can sign today once he clears waivers. Oh, that's what they've been waiting on. I thought the Lakers were doing that on purpose. KJ, what's been your favorite signing so far? Man, look, I gotta say Bruce Brown coming back. I know it's not a popular answer, but Bruce Brown returning back to the Nuggets, I think it's huge. If y'all watched the Great Debate Show for the past year or so, I have been going on rants saying, what the fuck are the Nuggets doing? You just won a championship and you let your whole bench go? Jeff Green, Bruce Brown, KCP, all these guys, they just let them go. That's why the general manager got fired. So to bring him back and to acquire Cam Johnson and Valanciunas, those are my favorite moves so far. And us, now if you asked me Monday, I would have said us, my Grizzlies, extending Triple J and Aldama. But man, that dude done got hurt now. And he's going to really put a damper on how we start the season. We're going to go to the bottom real quick. Because a lot of people don't think we already were good enough to really compete. And now without our best player overall, man, Ja got to snap out and average 30-40. Which I don't see that happening really, to be honest with you. But I hope he could do it and stay healthy while doing it. But thank you, Drake. Thank you, Drake. Ayton will sign today once he clears waivers. Well, you will hear him being a Laker. KJ, what's been your... I already answered that one. Ashton, what's up, man? He's back in the building. Does Golden State get Lillard? They're looking at it. Believe me, they have called. Or Giannis. I think all Giannis has to do is just give the Bucks the green light and say he wants to facilitate a trade and Golden State will be on the line. I do. So y'all telling me y'all think Giannis should leave. Y'all don't think that the Bucks have done enough. Y'all agree with me then, it sounds like it. That's what it sounds like. Luke, what's up, man? Lou, Giannis to the Warriors. Luke, Niners and Grizzlies, question mark. Yep. Grew up a Niner all my life. We didn't have a football team in Memphis back when I was growing up. We got a basketball team later in the years. I ride with them. Man, Mike, the GOAT. If you're talking about that dude right there on that picture behind me, yes, I agree. Wow. Jeremy, Wow said Jeremy how you say it? Sochan? I'm botching his name, but yeah, him. You put him and De'Aaron Fox and Wemby and LeBron, yeah, I would love for that to happen. I know my brother would too. All sports included. What is the best team in Texas? The Dallas Mavericks by the time we get to April. Jay, Giannis to the Warriors. Yes, could be. Bang, bang, Niner gang. What up, Derek? Denny W, nice big goal. That belt, man. Everybody loves that belt, man. I appreciate it. Giannis to the Warriors. KJ, not the Texans. No, not me. I like the Texans, but watch what the Mavericks do. It's the Mavericks or the Rockets. Now, from October to January, we'll be saying the Rockets. But from March to June, I think y'all will be saying it's the Mavericks. Good questions, y'all. Dame to the Cavs. Well, they just got LaMelo. They just got Alonzo Ball. But who knows? He's got some good options. Olajuwon was just as much of a unicorn as Joker, just in different ways. No Hakeem hate allowed. Yeah, I'm not hating on Hakeem at all. And yes, he was a unicorn. He was a bad boy. Just because he wasn't getting 30, 20, and 15, it's a different league too now. And Jokic ain't got David Robinson that he's, battling with in the post. Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing and all of those guys. Mutombo. I could just keep going on. That was the greatest era of centers probably in that era in the 90s. And Hakeem Olajuwon was still the greatest of them all. Mike Brown is the new head coach of the Knicks, just announced 5 minutes ago. Thank you. Thank you for that news, Iceman Slim. Yeah, okay, let me check this out. Mike Brown, I was just saying a little earlier that he was their favorite. But they needed to get the sign off from the governor, James Dolan, and I guess James Dolan signed off on it. Congratulations to Mike Brown, even though he's still just a black Coach Thibodeau, in my opinion. He's the same coach. Defensive guy. Doesn't really excel the offense as much. Doesn't really play the bench as much. The only difference is he might not be too aggressive with his coaching. He might not get on the players' nerves as Thibs did. And Mike Malone was Thibs to the second power. So that's why they didn't hire him, I'm told. They didn't even think about interviewing him. Let me grab my controller so I can see what I'm missing here. Since I got that news from Iceman, I appreciate that too. But what y'all think about that? Mike Brown is now a head coach again in the league for the Denver Nuggets. Sorry about that. I didn't know that was that loud. Turning on my Xbox now so I can catch up on what else is going on. Maybe something else will break before I leave. RJ3 said greatest center of all time. I agree, brother. Hakeem Olajuwon was that motherfucking dude. If y'all don't know, you better go ask somebody. Thank you, though, Iceman Slim. Yeah, Mike Brown is now the Knicks coach. So now that they got a coach, now what? They don't really have to do much now that the East is so weak now. Excuse me. Okay. Being stolen. Bro, my Broncos took 2 of your defensive players. Yep, and they're going to stay injured too. Let's see here. Hell, one of them is already injured. Didn't Greenlaw tear his pec or something? HBK or Triple H? Damn. HBK. Okay, back to YouTube. What's up, Jake? He said Carolina Panthers. All right. Joe Jack in the building said, listen, 3 goes to the Bucks. They're contenders again. I'm a Raptors fan and a Donovan Mitchell's fan. Okay, Joe Jack. What y'all think about that? CP3 joining the Bucks backcourt. We know CP3, in my opinion, is a point guard, even though his prime is past and all of that, and he never won a championship. But Bucks need some help in the backcourt. I don't know who can score, and not that Paul's going to score a lot. He'll facilitate and get everybody where they need to be. That's why he's a point guard. He makes everybody better. So I wouldn't say that would be a bad look, but he ain't going to Milwaukee. He wants to be closer to his home, his family in LA. That's why he's looking at a return to the Clippers or a return to the Suns. And Phoenix is just like a 45-minute flight to the LAX. So that's that. But that's not a bad take. Joe Jack is just that he doesn't want to be anywhere near Milwaukee at all. KJ, in your opinion, what else does Mahomes have to do to pass Brady? Win more Super Bowls. Keep winning. Keep winning. If he doesn't watch himself, he's going to turn into LeBron, though, where he's going to have all of these Super Bowl appearances, but still more losses than wins if he don't watch it. Like, if he keeps on going to the Super Bowl over and over, there's going to be a team that's going to just have too much talent like the Eagles did and beat them, I'm going to say he could be more LeBron than Brady. I don't know. But we were still calling him Baby Goat up until they got their asses whooping their last Super Bowl. We were saying he was Baby Goat. And we were going to start saying maybe we need to take the baby off of it if they beat Philly. But they didn't do it. And he was bad. He was bad. Go back and check out the episode where I did my quarterback list, my top 10 quarterbacks. According to, was it NFL Network or was it NFL.com? I don't know. But according to them, he was like number 4. Go back and check that episode out on YouTube. Follow the Great Debate Show on YouTube and see where I put him in. Donald in the building. Diane in the building. Gillespie. All right, Gillespie. I know that name sounds familiar. Okay, thank y'all for joining me for the Great Debate Show. I about said everything that I needed to say. The Lakers are preserving cap space for 2027, y'all. What do y'all think about that? I mean, it's a smart move. There's nothing they can really do for the 2026 season. But what do y'all think about them saying that immediately after LeBron opted in? They're trying to make him change his mind, probably. That's what I think. But, yeah, he may have to play this final year out. They're not going to try to appease him and go out the way and do too much. They're not jumping out the window or doing anything crazy. They're going to sign one big, and that'll be probably Ayton. As soon as he clears waivers a little later today, according to my boy Steel DRE. And that might be it, but they need Ayton and Jackson Hayes back. Jackson Hayes wasn't bad. And he can move. You know, they just didn't use him right or use him enough. So as good as JJ Redick is, he could be better. He could be better. Luka Doncic needs a moving big, and Jackson Hayes can move. But he's a free agent right now. And there's only like a few of them left. Less than a handful. By the end of Wemby's career, do you think people will put him in the GOAT debate? That's what they're saying. I don't know. I got to see more of Wemby. He got hurt last year, so he didn't get to close out. We didn't get to see if the Spurs would have gotten that 8 seed, got to play in or whatever. So we don't know. But a lot of people think he'll be top 5 all time when it's all said and done. But I don't know about GOAT debate. I don't know about that. I need to see him put it all together. I heard he's bulking up a little bit. He needs to, because I want to see him play with his back to the rim. Like y'all say Triple J needs to do in Memphis. I need to see him do that a little bit more. But yeah, it's possible. No doubt. And again, y'all, as much as I give LeBron flack on this show, I said 10 years ago, well, I wasn't podcasting 10 years ago, but I've had conversations with people where I've agreed that LeBron very well could be the GOAT by the time it's all said and done, if he does this, and that. But he didn't do this, and that. What were those this, and that? Be a better post-up player. You're 6'8", 250 or whatever. You should post up and not get offended when people call you a power forward. My bad, bro. Small, power, whatever. Sometimes they got you playing the big right now, so what's the problem? He did get his sweet spot. He's got a little sweet spot now down there with the little turnaround off the one leg. He became a better three-point shooter. But if he'd have just listened to Pat Riley and kept working with Hakeem Olajuwon in Miami, he probably would really be the GOAT. But it was the way he won his championships and all of that. So, but yeah, good question though, KJ, about Wemby. Man, what if LeBron got to play with Wemby? That would be good, man. Jordan didn't even win a series without Pippen. Bron made the finals by himself and didn't win them. So what does that mean, Will? What does that mean? And Jordan never said that he could make the finals without Pippen. He never said that. He never said that. And he didn't win a series in '86 because he was injured. I mean, that was '85. That was '85. Y'all gotta stop blaming Jordan for not beating the bad boy Pistons and Larry Bird and the Celtics. Those guys were good. Really good, and they whooped his ass. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing to make me change my mind. If LeBron's your GOAT, cool. Or Kobe, whoever, cool. Iceman Slim said Kobe is the GOAT, period. That's your opinion. To me, he's baby GOAT. He this close. He this close. But when you talk about the all-time list, you probably got to put LeBron ahead of Kobe just because of all the stat stuff that he's been doing. But I don't care about LeBron getting to the finals by himself. The Eastern Conference was terrible. Terrible. And as soon as it got a little competitive, he went to Hollywood. So you don't get credit for going to 7, 8 finals and losing them. It was easy for you to get there. There's nobody good in the Eastern Conference from 2003 to 2010. And y'all know I'm not capping. Okay, longevity doesn't make you a better player. Kobe greater than LeBron. Thank you, Brandon and Boogie. Great comment. Thank you. But Iceman Slim, I'm not mad at you for saying Kobe to go. He's my baby GOAT. Knicks just got a coach, said Lucas. Yeah, I dropped that news. He is. They do have a coach, Mike Brown. Do y'all like that? Hell no, I'll never put him over Kobe at all. Iceman Slim. You made LeBron about you. I'm just saying though, but he stepped them stats so y'all can do it. You know, I mean, even Stephen A says Jordan won, LeBron too. That's what all that longevity has did for him, and that's why he's continuing to do it. It ain't about winning ring 5 or ring 6 or ring 7. It's about, I'm gonna hang around until I can play with my boys for about 1 year or a couple of games. That's legacy that I respect, but if they don't belong in the league, they don't belong in the league, bro. If they're a bunch of Nepo babies, then that's just what it is, and you can't get mad at nobody for saying anything and bullying 58-year-old men. I don't respect stuff like that. LeBron and Clutch Sports controlling media and narratives, Brandon and Boogie said. And they just want all the damn attention. I'll say Jordan over LeBron, says Lucas. LeBron is for show too, though. See, I don't have a problem with that. See, you're more grounded mentally. You're being realistic, Lucas. I don't mind saying LeBron's number 2 either. I just said you can't be number 1, motherfucker.